Hi, and welcome to this edition of This Week in East Brunswick, the Township's own video magazine. This week we'll visit the 26th Annual Historic Car Show held last Sunday. We'll hear Mayor Fox speak at the dedication of Nielsen Parking Plaza, and we'll see a few minutes of the girls' soccer team in a game played Wednesday. From the library, Cheryl McBride comments on Banned Books Week, and from her garden, Middlesex County Agricultural Agent Pegi Ballister-House talks about how to mulch. Adrian Eisner warns against coin investment scams on Consumer Aware, and we'll end with a review of the Township Council meeting held Wednesday night. But first, a quick look at programming on Channel 8 next week. Monday at 10 a.m., Lenore Kulick shows how to do an overall spot toning on Look Great, Feel Great. At 10:30, at 7 p.m., by Store Communications, features Women in Transition. At 7:30, Paul Hansen highlights fraternal financial services on You and Your Money. John Runyon speaks with Fred Stewart at 8 Tuesday night on Business Bylines. And Wednesday night at 7:30, Spotlight on Education focuses on technology in school libraries. At 8, Stuart Davis investigates the teen music scene on 18. Thursday evening at 7 and 8, we'll return with a new edition of This Week in East Brunswick. And at 7:30, Let's Talk Health features a discussion on open adoption. Be sure to check the Channel 8 program guide for updates and recasts.
My name is Gary Price. I'm the president of the East Brunswick Kiwanis Club, and we are here at our 26th annual Antique Car Show at the County Fairgrounds on Cranberry Road. This is our 26th show, which we do. We have over 300 cars here, and this affair is our chief fundraiser for our service club every year. The monies that we raise at this affair go to help the various local organizations in town, the Boy and the Girl Scouts, the YMCA, the YWCA, the various sports teams, the Salvation Army, all those groups that help out make our community the place it is to live in. The Antique Car Show is put on with the cooperation of our friends from the Old Timers Club, who as antique car clubs are the ones who are able to obtain for us all these old cars. And the two of us have done this event for many years together. This year we have a lot of special things to show everybody. For the children, we have a petting zoo put on by the 4-H. We have a group that's going around as a barber shop quartet singing to everyone. We have a special exhibit this year from the Greyhound Corporation of a 1954 scenic cruiser here for display. We have some antique fire trucks, some antique tow trucks, antique cars of every make and description from the 1900s up to the present. We even have a few new cars here from some of the local area dealerships. In short, we have an adventure for children that kind of fits their imagination as they go around and see what their parents and what their grandparents drove years ago and compare it to what they see nowadays. Something that they kind of get a thrill out of as they go around and see and enjoy the various exhibits and the food, of course. Children always like food. So we hope you're able to make it this year, and if you cannot, we plan to do it once again next year at the same time, at the same place, and we hope to see you then.
On September 14th, Township, County, and State officials attended the dedication ceremony of the East Brunswick Parking Pavilion, Nielsen Plaza. Mayor William Fox offered the following remarks.
We're dedicating the finest commuter parking facility on the East Coast. We have here 1,072 parking spaces, all but a few of which are undercover. We have covered bus loading and unloading, and the best bus service in the best location in central New Jersey. Users of this facility can be out of the elements from the time that they leave their residence until the time they arrive at the Port Authority or other destinations. As a result of Lou Neely's financial wizardry, parking fees are the lowest of any similar facility around. But this opening today is just part of a larger story, a story of municipal government actively, creatively, and boldly working to meet the needs of an important group of its residents. Since 1976, we've developed over 2,000 municipally owned and operated commuter parking spaces. No other municipality in New Jersey even comes close to this commitment to its commuting residents. But all of our residents benefit from this commitment. Convenient commuting and access to New York City and other places makes East Brunswick a more attractive place to live and helps keep up the demand for residential property. This enhances the value of every home in East Brunswick. By providing adequate and cheap commuter parking with good bus service, we make it much less attractive for commuters to park randomly in the neighborhoods along Route 18 and in other areas. This eliminates congestions in these neighborhoods and reduces the amount of police enforcement required. Another little-known benefit is that the parking utility has an employment policy of giving preference to senior citizens. As a result, all but one of the utility employees are senior citizens working part-time to supplement their retirement incomes. We both benefit. They're able to earn needed income, and we have the services of experienced and dedicated workers. I'm very proud of the fact that East Brunswick has been able to make this commitment to commuter parking without expending a single penny of local property tax dollars. Operated as a utility, the parking activity has been and is supported exclusively by parking fees and other income. Those residents who do not need or do not use commuter parking have paid nothing to provide it. When you add all this up, you have an unparalleled municipal government success story. All too often, local officials look to other levels of government to solve their problems instead of confronting and dealing with them themselves. It'd be easy for us to take the position that commuter parking is a regional need and should be met by the county or state government. With all due respect to the representatives of county and state government present, had East Brunswick taken that course, we probably would have no commuter parking today. The demands on the county and state are very great and the resources very limited. Instead, East Brunswick elected and appointed officials over many years took on commuter parking as their problem to be creatively solved and solved it. Lou Neely in particular has led the way for all of us through his dedication, leadership, and creative thinking. The former East Brunswick officials who are here today also were each instrumental in developing our parking resources. They should be applauded for their courage in facing this issue head on and doing something about it. And it has taken political courage. What East Brunswick has done in providing commuter parking has required vision and a willingness to overcome our fears and concerns. It has required breaking new ground for municipal government and taking the bold steps necessary to realize our goals. It's required commitment and dedication and political risk. It seems to me that this is what good government is all about. Bad government, on the other hand, is government carried on by fearful officials, unwilling or unable to look beyond today, and firmly committed to mediocrity. Good government only comes from officials who are capable of having a vision, who are unafraid to act on that vision, and are willing to take the prudent risk necessary to realize the vision. So it is in this vein that I'm also very proud to be dedicating this facility in the name of Brigadier General John Nielsen. In 1777, then Colonel Nielsen passed through this very area with his troops on their way to attack the British on Bennett's Island, about a mile from here. He and his men were victorious, and that victory contributed to the defeat of the British in central Jersey. General Nielsen had a vision, a commitment to his vision, and a willingness to take the steps necessary to realize his goal. The naming of this facility in his honor, then, is particularly fitting and will further serve to keep alive the remembrance of his commitment and his contribution to the freedom of this country.
The fall and winter sports season has begun. This year, John Megliero and Channel 8 will provide sports coverage of boys and girls soccer, gymnastic meets, and football. The football games will be shown Monday nights at 7 and repeated Wednesday nights at 8:30. Check the Channel 8 guide for dates when other sports events will be shown. The girls' soccer game against Cedar Ridge, played September 14th, will be shown in its entirety Saturday, September 17th at 1 p.m. Here's a brief look at some of the action that can be seen.
So that includes Myers and Swartz in the front line, with Mitzner, Klein, Korf, and the Rougeau in the middle, and the defense being Jan, Farrell, Bishop, Gillahan, Amy Gorney in goal. So there's your basic lineup. And let's see if this contingent can score a couple more before it's over.
Well, too, I don't think Lucas is that comfortable 2-0. We've seen it in the past where one goal could change the tempo and momentum of a game. Mitzner sending it down. Klein in the middle. Out to Mitzner. She's got the wing. She's going to take it. She crosses over. Good pass inside and goal. I think that's Amy Meckelberg.
That's Meckelberg on that shot, and she was right there. Didn't take long, John.
Nope.
18:55 remaining. So a minute and 5 seconds goes by. And that's exactly what East Brunswick has been doing the entire...
Hello, I'm Cheryl McBride of the Library's Adult Services Department. Each month, our department sets up a display on the cubes near the front of the building. These books highlight a particular aspect of the collection and are normally available to be borrowed. However, the September display is different. All through September, in locked cases and behind bars, we have on display some of the books that have been banned, censored, or attacked in various communities across the country during the past 3 years. The censors were busy, and the library will again join with other organizations to fight back with Banned Books Week, celebrating the freedom to read. Scheduled for September 24th through October 1st, this year's theme is Open Books for Open Minds. It emphasizes the importance of access to ideas and information as crucial to the ability to think creatively and critically. Started in 1982, Banned Books Week is co-sponsored by the American Library Association, the American Society of Journalists and Authors, and 3 other groups. It is endorsed by the Center for the Book in the Library of Congress. Some of the books included in the display are Kurt Vonnegut's novel Slaughterhouse-Five. It was challenged in the Baton Rouge, Louisiana school libraries by a school board member who charged that it was vulgar and offensive. Alexis DeVoe's book of poetry, Nay Knee. It was removed from elementary school library shelves in Accomack, Virginia, for using a vulgarity and improper punctuation. Wallace Terry's Bloods, an oral history of black soldiers in Vietnam, was removed from a Spring Hill, Florida middle school library because a parent felt that it presented a moral danger to the students. Lois Lowry's children's novel, Anastasia Krupnik, was pulled from the shelves of an elementary school library in Tulare, California. It was later replaced with the objectionable language whited out. Robert Peck's young adult novel, A Day No Pigs Would Die. It was challenged at the Jefferson County, Colorado School District libraries because it depicts violence, hatred, animal cruelty, and murder. John Gardner's novel Grendel and Gabriel Garcia Marquez's novel 100 Years of Solitude were both removed from the book list for use at the Wasco, California High School. School Board President Montgomery said, quote, "We have a duty to the community, and we must guard against the use of garbage being passed off as literature." And finally, on February 20th, 1988, in Boulder, Colorado, home of the University of Colorado, Minister Philip Day burned 3 books to help rid Boulder of occult influences. Because of fears that the burning might violate a city ordinance, Day disguised the effort as a picnic. He assembled hot dogs, hamburgers, and marshmallows along with the books. "We'll have marshmallows and hot dogs, but the books will provide the fuel," he told reporters several days before the event. All the books he attempted to burn were donated and included The Tao of Physics, An Introduction to Yoga, Make ESP Work for You, and Psychic Astrology Predictions. The burn titles were Happy Birthday Planet Earth, The Modern Witch's Handbook, and Shirley MacLaine's Out on a Limb. Reverend Day said he hadn't read any of the books he attempted to burn. Most people who attempt to have a book banned do it with the highest motives. They believe they are trying to protect others from exposure to assorted evils or to preserve the values of society. Unfortunately, no matter what the motives of book banning, the result is always the denial of another's freedom to read. In a free society, the denial of a basic freedom cannot be allowed.
Hi, this is Peggy Ballister-Howells, your Middlesex County Agricultural Agent. And on a day like today, with the sun shining and the temperature soaring, your plants are probably struggling at least a little bit in the garden. So we have here a pile of mulch. This is wood chips, and this makes an excellent mulch. It's not the only mulch you can use. There are a number of other kinds that work very well. But this has some advantages. For one thing, it is organic, and it will break down. The fact that it is porous and you can water through it has a significant advantage over using any kind of a plastic that you can't water through. Many communities will have this available when they do their tree pruning in their townships. They will chip up the wood and make it available back to the residents. Often landscapers will be happy to dump a load off at your property because they don't know what to do with all the wood chips that they have. But as you can see, this pile right here has started to decompose. So even though it's only wood, if you dig down inside, you can see that the consistency changes a little bit. It gets darker, partly because it's wet, and the quality improves. You can see right here that here's a fine wiggly worm that he lives in there, and he helps to break down the pile, and he came into this little pile all by himself. Put him over here for safekeeping. So even though it's wood, it does start to break down. This pile is about a year and a half old. And once it starts to break down, it has another advantage, and that's that it doesn't use up as much nitrogen as it would when it's in its raw, fresh state. So I'm going to shovel some of this into the wheelbarrow, and then we're going to put it down in the front garden. We have the mulch here, and over here we have some nice little marigold plants that are in bloom, and some beautiful calla lilies that are also in bloom and doing quite well. But something I have to point out is that when you're using, especially a wood chip type mulch, you should always put the fertilizer down underneath. And the importance of that is that you want the fertilizer to wash into the ground so it's available to the plants. If you put it on top of the mulch, what happens is the wood chips itself absorbs the nitrogen in order to encourage the breakdown of the wood. So you take these wood chips and you put them on top of the fertilizer, on top of the soil, around the plants, but you don't want to put them too close. You don't want to pile it so close that it's right up against the stem of the plants. The problem with that is that it can cause a little bit of rotting, and you also don't want to encourage slugs to get too close. You want to pile it about 1 inch deep, maybe 1.5 inches. And it makes a nice, pretty, finished look. It'll help to keep the weeds down. It'll help to keep the soil from drying out. Generally is a work saver that looks pretty too. We'll see you here next week in my backyard.
Hello, and welcome to Consumer Aware. I'm Adrienne Eisner, Director of the East Brunswick Consumer Affairs Office. Consumers who buy rare coins over the telephone or through the mail without researching the company or the coin market are putting themselves at the mercy of unscrupulous dealers. While most coin dealers are honest, con artists prey on the inexperienced coin investor who does not understand the complexities of the rare coin market. Thousands of consumers in New Jersey and other states are being bilked by smooth-talking salespeople posing as account executives for rare coin firms. They are using high-pressure telephone tactics and promises of huge profits to sell coins of dubious value. Investors should beware of disreputable coin dealers who deliberately misrepresent the value of a particular coin. the investor ends up buying the coin for more than it is worth or selling it for less than it is worth. There is no government regulation of coin dealers or firms. Consumers must protect themselves by being aware of the rip-off schemes and knowing how to avoid them. Here are some tips. Be wary of unexpected phone calls, letters, or personal visits promoting coins as a guaranteed high-profit investment. Turn down money requests accompanied by high-pressure warnings like, "Tomorrow will be too late." Request written information about the company and the investment risks and potential before you even consider investing. Be immediately suspicious of any dealer who claims to be connected with the United States Mint or Treasury. Commercial coin firms do not have ties to the United States government. Don't use your credit card to buy coins over the telephone. Your card number can be used to charge unwanted coin orders to your account. Get all terms of the purchase in writing, including any money-back guarantees. Be especially cautious about any deferred payment plans. Make sure you know all of the extra costs involved. Before making a commitment, get a professional opinion from your local rare coin organization. Since the late 1950s, the rare coin market has evolved from a hobby practiced by less than 1 million collectors to a major American business sector with almost 20 million investors. Yet, many investors are unaware of the inherent risks of the coin market. If an investor is looking for a quick returns, a large profit, and easy conversion into cash, coin investing is not a good idea. If you have any further questions, please contact us at the East Brunswick Consumer Affairs Office. Our hours are from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. Call us at 390-6954. Thank you for joining me on Consumer Aware. See you again next time.
Edgeboro landfill was the primary topic of discussion at Wednesday night's council action meeting. A resolution asking the Federal Environmental Protection Agency to investigate allegations of toxic waste at Edgeboro was tabled by the council. Town Attorney Burt Bush said Fred Kurtz of the Middlesex County Utilities Authority was threatening to take back a $15 million promise from the township if the council asks for EPA intervention. According to Bush, the council signed an agreement that prohibits the town taking any action that may lead to suits or administrative orders against the landfill. In return, the township was promised $15 million over 5 years. Councilman Joseph Hudak, author of the resolution, called Kurtz's action blackmail. Some members of the public also voiced outrage over the MCUA's threat. Dr. Mark Lightman of Apple Manor Lane made allegations that the entire history of Edgeboro is racked with conspiracy. He made allegations tying freeholder David Crabiel and MCUA director Fred Kurtz to the Herbert family, owner of the landfill. He alleged that millions of gallons of toxic chemicals have been dumped in the landfill. He further alleged that labs which tested the dump are biased and have ties with the Herberts as well. He claimed to have data to back these statements. He asked the council why the freeholders and the MCUA would be against an EPA investigation when the county is currently negotiating to purchase the landfill from the Herberts for a reported $190 million. Hudak echoed some of Lightman's allegations. Mayor William Fox said if Lightman's allegations were true, dozens of politicians and public employees on state, local, and county levels would have to be involved. He said such a scenario is impossible. He said the MCUA had inspectors at the landfill and no evidence of a health threat was found. Fox added that the EPA uses investigators with the same credentials as the county. But Councilman Hudak insisted the EPA must investigate. Councilman Louis Becker, Jack Sinagra, and William Kirk voted to table the resolution. Hudak and Russell Walker voted against postponement. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.